Honorable Chair, esteemed dignitaries on the dais, myself, Sithu Prakash Ratha, Headmaster Gunjibadi UPS, Kandhamal District in Odisha. My paper is Tagorean philosophy and approach to ensure holistic education in present scenario. Rabindranath Tagore, not only Indian, but was Asia's first Nobel laureate, was born into a prominent Calcutta family known for its socio-religious and cultural inventions during the 19th Bengal Renaissance. The objective of the paper is to analyze the educational thoughts of Tagore, his basic concept of education and its process. The method used is historical analysis method. Tagore was a great champion of education for international understanding. He believed that education was not merely a means for the growth and fullness of the individual, but it was also concerned with the whole physical and social milieu in which his life was lived. Tagore's concept of ideal education covered the description of ideal atmosphere, institution, teacher, and method. Actually, Tagore's success lies in the fact that he did not try to control directly the ideas, feelings, and values of children, but imaginatively designed an environment and a program of activities and experience which evoke the desired responses. This paper emphasizes on the thoughts behind the establishment of educational institutions such as Shilaida, Shantiniketan, Sriniketan, Vishwabharati, and Shiksha Shastra, etc. As one of the earliest educators to think it in terms of the global village and free education for all, Rabindranath Tagore's educational pattern, Lok Shiksha, has a distinct understanding and suitability for education with multi-racial, multilingual, multicultural situations and conditions of acknowledged economic discrepancy and political imbalance of contemporary times where education and costs are twinned. The paper purposes to focus on Tagore's philosophy on education, an idea of extending equal right of education for all. Tagore's education mission, it might be surprising to learn that literature Nobel literate dedicated 40 years of his life to establishing and running educational institutions. Rabindranath Tagore's educational endeavor were motivated by post-colonial ideas of liberation as he saw education as key to give respect and self-reliance and therefore to move beyond political, social, economical suspensions which he tried to address since his time in Silaida. His ideas were also influenced by his childhood experiences that led him to describe school and prisons. After dropping out of schools by 15, the intellectual, artist, and extremely progressive and liberal atmosphere at home revealed to him how much joy and freedom learning could and should encompass. Tagore also referred to the Tapovan old Indian forest colonies where students lived a simple life close to nature and with an inspiring guru. Yet the most important motivation for Tagore's educational engagement as artistic in this educational endeavor, he created a poem not with words but through action and ideas that aspire to express his inner truth or philosophy. The learning child freedom to learn unconsciously. Tagore recognizes that children have to be seen in their own rights so that their strengths become visible and can develop. For example, their curiosity and wonder, their imagination and creative joy, and their ability to see unity that derives from their freedom from habits of thoughts and behavior. Tagore argues that the difference between children and adults requires different methods of learning. While adults may read books and while their learning is motivated by a clear purpose, children require indefiniteness and learn mostly unconsciously. Our purpose wants to occupy all the mind's attention for itself, obstructing the full view of most of the things around us. The child, because it has no conscious object of life beyond living, can see all things around it. It can hear every sound with a perfect freedom of attention, not having to exercise choice in the collection of information. For Tagore, this kind of learning and approach to the world is the best way of children to grow. He terms it the method of nature. Through this method, children learn even something as complicated as their first language quicker, better, and more joyful than adults would be able to do using their focused methods. According to the methods of nature, guessing and trying out are preferable for explaining unconscious learning, and sudden surprises are preferable to focused effort. And experiencing and discovering the world firsthand is preferable to books. Tagore argues that learning by the method of nature will allow children to develop their creativity and to apply which they have learnt. Tagore uses an analogy to warn educators of the detrimental effects of applying the adult method of learning to children. It is like focusing upon the flower, the mission of the fruit. The flower has to wait for its chances. It had to keep its heart open the sunlight and to the breeze, to wait its opportunity for some insect to come seeking on honey. The flower lives in a world of surprise, but the fruits must close its heart in order to ripen its seeds. It must take a different course altogether. For the flower, the chance coming of an insect is a great event, but for the fruits in intrusion means an injury. The ideal school, a boarding school in nature. Tagore is convinced that an ideal school should be amidst nature. In Santiniketan, lessons take place mostly outside in the shade of trees. For schools in less warm climate, he recommends spending at least one school day completely outside, not counting sports, games, and excursion. He also believes that boarding schools are most advantageous as they can be far away from cities and therefore permit children to remove about more freely. Self discipline and self government. Tagore's criticism of punishment and his allowance for freedom is countered by his emphasis on discipline, particularly in the first year of his Santiniketan school. He focused on simplicity and discipline. Ideal teachers, guru versus school masters. Tagore found it difficult to find the right teacher for the schools. He was looking for gurus instead of school masters. Teacher can never truly teach unless he is still learning himself. A lamp can never light another lamp unless it continues to burst its own flame. Tagore argues that teacher would be strengthened through a higher status that in Indian might come through though through the title guru. Holistic education, knowledge, action, and love, language, context, and books. In contrast to colonial educational institution, teachers in Santiniketan used the mother tongue and related the content to the historical, cultural, and natural context to ensure that students properly understand the content and can apply it. Over the years, Tagore's criticism curriculum was more and more determined by activities. This included scientific experiments, excursions for social research, trying to find solutions to the villagers' real life problems and implementing them, picnics, tending to animals, and helping around the school buildings. Students worked on farms and in crafts, cooperated with villagers, and helped them to improve their farming methods. Through their activities, they not only improved rural life but also learned better, developed their personality, and grew spiritually, for example, by developing an emotional relationship with nature. Arts, the pride, joy of Santiniketan, education of the soul, love and joy, ecological education, spirituality and ethics, internationalism, education for peace. Tagore deeply cared about the international political situation for his days and spoke out for the unity of humanity in an age nationalism. The implement true internationalism. Tagore believed that children should be deeply rooted in their own culture but at the same time realize their unity with all of humanity. Educational institutions and projects by Tagore. Shilaida, Santiniketan, Sriniketan and adult education, Vishwabharati, Shiksha Shastra, Shiksha Shatra, Shiksha Shatra is the natural outcome of some years of educational experiment, and Santiniketan and the institution of rural reconstruction of Sriniketan. Hardly any literature discuss Tagore's latter educational experiment at Jorashank. After Gandhiji has visited Santiniketan, Tagore became more conscious of what he himself saw as its shortcomings. He founded the new model school, his family home, to overcome established routines. He himself taught, and arts and music were the most important subject of the school. Tagore School and University exist until today. Many aspects of the institutions have changed, but pupils still have their classes under trees. Tagore's festivals are celebrated, and music and the arts from the crucial part of the life of the students. Thanks to all. Have a nice day.